Hey, what's going on? This is Marcos. Today we'll be taking a look at the Teradek Wave. This is a live stream monitor that lets you stream directly to Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo. There's no need to connect it to a laptop or to use a third-party program like OBS. The encoding happens right here inside. It's a very easy to use. Actually, I'm not even gonna walk you through all the menus because there's other videos out there you can look at. I'm gonna waste your time to click through everything. It only took me a couple minutes to figure out. So I got to give it out to that. The menu system, the OS is awesome. I can't say enough about it. So if you look at the monitor, this is 7-inch, 1000 nit monitor. You can definitely use it outside. Obviously you want to put some kind of shade, but if you don't have that, you can still look at the monitor. The resolution itself is also great, 1080p. Everything to do with the monitor itself, I love. If we look at the connections, I want to show you here at the bottom. You can power it through Type-C USB, which is what I have right now. There's an Ethernet for connecting it, a straight plug-in to the Ethernet connection. The USB-C, people have been asking online, can I connect the webcam to that? No, that's for modems. And there's 1/4 inch here, which is one of the major things that you'll see here, that this thing sits with these legs that come included. They're too close to the table, so the cables have to be bent a little bit. In this case, this is the HDMI. This is from the camera. Let me show you what that looks like. This is the behind the scenes. I have an L connection. That way the cable doesn't bend, because if I was trying to connect it right now, the table gets in the way. But one thing you can do is connect this to a light stand that has 1/4 inch, or somehow get some kind of a little tripod that sits on the table and you can bring it up. That way you don't have to bend the cables, or you don't have to get these L-shaped connections that I have here. On this side, you have for headphone monitoring, and also for line in. If you're bringing the audio from, let's say, a mixer or an audio recorder, you can do that. That's one of my first complaints, I guess, is just these tabletops. It's fine, it's just, it's not practical to have them down here so low. So maybe a different way to get it off the table. If you take off these legs, you also get 1/4 inch on the sides. So that's another way to mount this monitor to something different. Then on top, you have 2 antennas. I believe this is for better connectivity, Wi-Fi connectivity. You have an SD card for recording the live stream. And this USB, again, is for modems, not for connecting a camera or a webcam or anything like that. In the back, you can power this with Sony MPF batteries. They're hot swappable, which is awesome, because in case you're running off of these batteries, you can change one if one is running low and move on to the next one. So that's cool. The power button's right here. Press and hold to shut it on and off. And that's it. Pretty nicely built, pretty simple. Obviously, it only supports one camera, which is maybe a drawback for some of you who are wanting to do multiple cameras. But for those of you who want a simple, quick connection, that maybe just the one camera, that's fine. Just the one, will be more than enough, which is often the case with a lot of live streams that I've been involved with. Sometimes it's just one camera, that's all we need. The next thing I want to talk about is the network bonding. So what that means is that you can grab different internet connections, like let's say the Wi-Fi or Ethernet or modems or hotspots. You put them all together and you create a more reliable, faster network, right? Which might be important for some of you if you're doing out in the field, remote locations. Maybe you have a hotspot or some kind of cellular data. You can bond those through ShareLink, which is a subscription-based program from Teradek that you can pay for, and that way you can stream from anywhere. You also don't need any kind of power outlets because you have the Sony MPF batteries. Obviously, you probably want to power the camera through V-mounts or whatever, some kind of external batteries, and you can go anywhere and stream from anywhere. And obviously, you don't need a laptop because you can do it all from here. You can configure or schedule events or live stream events and get going really fast. Moving on to some of the settings here, I want to go back to the events. Here I created 2, and if I try to create a new one, again, I'm not going to walk you through all the menus, but you can choose different pictures. Like let's say you're doing a wedding, you can select the wedding, and So you can name it whatever you want. Here, I already set up one to go straight into YouTube. You can see it has the icon right there. I can configure the settings of the stream. Again, I'm not gonna explain everything, but here's our record settings. I have the SD card inserted on top. I can record either MKV or MP4. I have to say that I've had some issues with the SD card. Sometimes it doesn't work, so I have to disable it. Right now it's enabled, so it'll work. But sometimes it's a hit and miss, and I don't know what's going on there. It has to do something, a bug in the firmware, I'm guessing. Video settings, I set it to 1080p most of the time, and bitrate 5 megabits because that's what's recommended. Again, I'm not gonna walk over all these things. The only thing I wanna show you is the audio settings. There's analog, that's if you bring in the 3.5 mil, which is often the case if I'm live streaming at a wedding. Sometimes I'm getting the audio feed from the mixer. But you can also change it to HDMI if you're getting the audio straight from the camera, which is sometimes something I've done. All right, I'm gonna exit out of here and talk about some of the things or one of the major issues with this device is that I cannot change the latency if I'm streaming to YouTube. So YouTube has 3 different options. It has normal, low, and ultra low latency. So when I set up an event here, it defaults to normal. And that means there's a 20-second delay, 20 or 25 second. And I cannot change that. Even if I create an event here, then I go to my YouTube studio and I change it to ultra low and I hit start here, boom, it'll error out. So I have to keep it at normal, which it's fine if let's say you're just streaming a wedding or a live event or concert, something like that, where there's no interaction between the crowd and whoever is presenting. That's totally fine. But if you're having a discussion, let's say on a YouTube where people are dropping in comments to something you just said, then you want to get that latency to about 4 to 5 seconds, which is the ultra low on YouTube. The low latency, that's about 8 to 9, which is acceptable. 20, 25 seconds, that's not the best because you're not going to get that real-time interaction. The 4 to 5 seconds, I believe that's good enough that we can roll with that if we're having some kind of dialogue between the audience, whoever's watching, and the presenter. So one of the things to look at. Another thing is that when you hit the start here to start streaming, sometimes it takes about 35 seconds before it actually starts streaming. It says waiting and it won't start. Let me see if sometimes go live. It says starting. Sometimes it takes about 35 seconds. Sometimes it takes 10 to 15 seconds. So if you have a 10 o'clock, maybe start it a minute before just to make sure that it does start streaming. And, and then I'm also going to hit record on the stream. So it records to the SD card. You can also select auto start. So as soon as you hit start, it'll start recording to the SD card. And right now it's working perfectly. So, and I can stop it if I don't want to record it. So yeah, those are the big ones. Oh, it already started the live stream. I'm going to go ahead and stop it just so you know. Complete broadcast. Complete. That's done. It stopped the live stream. So I was able to live stream to YouTube and stop it all from here. No need for a computer or OBS or anything like that. So the big question is, who is this for? That's a really hard question to answer because it all depends. It's priced at $1,200 US right now, which is quite a bit of an investment. But let's say you're maybe a church or you're doing simple live streams where you just want to show a crowd something that's happening and you want to set up quickly. Or maybe you're out in remote locations, then this is perfect. You have network bonding, which is very useful to some of people. But for other people, maybe they don't really care about that. Maybe they want the real-time interaction. They're maybe wanting to do multiple camera. And maybe this is not the right item for you. It all depends on what you're doing. For me, the major drawback is the 25 second delay. That for the stuff I do when I'm doing live streams, there's some kind of interaction. So I would want to, for a future update, to have the ability to change that to a ultra low latency. And I think that's my major complaint there. Other than that, the OS is very intuitive. It's very easy to use. You can monitor the audio here. Actually, one of the things is that the audio headphones, I don't know if I mentioned this, it sounds distorted when you're listening to it from here. It will not sound distorted on the viewer end, even though it's just the headphone here, it's just not very good. But I guess those are the two major ones. Again, that's it for this device. If you want to more in depth into how it works and all the menus, I'll be happy to do that. Or if you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. Be happy to help you however I can. All right, this is it for today's video. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.